the time of Noah, mankind had strayed, became deeply corrupt, and they lost the blessing of God, no longer cared for by God. Devoid of His promises, without God's light, they were living in darkness, became promiscuous by nature, abandoned hideous corruption. Only Noah shunned evil and worshiped God, so he was able to hear the voice of God, hear the instructions of God, building the ark according to God's command. He assembled all manner of living creatures of every kind and way and feature. When all it had is preparations, God unleashed the world's destruction. So fallen that they could no longer receive God's promises good. They were completely unfit to witness His face, nor were they able to hear His voice, for they had abandoned God, cast aside what He had given, and all His teachings they had left. God, so he was able to hear the voice of God, hear the instructions of God, building the ark according to God's command. He assembled all manner of living creatures of every kind and way and feature. When all it had is preparations, God unleashed the world's destruction. So great was their straying and depravity, they lost all sense of reason and humanity. Their evil was so thorough and wretched that they came ever closer to death. They became further and further from God's path, so they fell under His punishment and wrath. Only Noah shunned evil and worshiped God, so he was able to hear the voice of God, hear the instructions of God, building the ark according to God's command. He assembled all manner of living creatures of every kind and way and feature. When all it had is preparations, God unleashed the world's destruction. Only Noah and his family remained alive. Only he and his 7 family members survived. For Noah shunned evil and worshiped Jehovah. Yes, Noah shunned evil and worshiped Jehovah.
When the Holy Spirit works to enlighten people, He generally gives them knowledge of God's work and of their true entry, and also knowledge of their true state. He also lets them understand God's urgent intentions and
escape from the influence of darkness, you must first be loyal to God. You must eagerly pursue the truth, and then you will live in the correct state. When you're not in the correct state, then that means you are not being loyal to God. You are not eager to seek the truth, so you can't escape the influence of darkness. God's words are the foundation for men to escape from the influence of darkness. If man can't practice by his words, they will not break free from the bondage of darkness. To live in the correct state means to live under the guidance of God's words, being loyal to God, seeking the truth, sincerely expending for God and loving Him. Those in the correct state will transform as they enter deeply into truth, and transform with the deepening of the work. They'll be gained by God and come to truly love Him. God's words are the foundation for men to escape from the influence of darkness. If man can't practice by his words, they will not break free from the bondage of darkness. Those who escape from the darkness will grasp God's will. They'll become confidants of God. They'll have no notions or rebellion against Him. They will detest these that have true love for God. What God requires is man's singular love, to be occupied by His words and love for Him. Man should live and find their pursuit in God's words. Run around, live and love God for His word. God's words are the foundation for men to escape from the influence of darkness. If man can't practice by his words, they will not break free from the bondage of darkness.
Once Jesus witnessed man's life in sin, his heart filled with a strong desire to let men be free from their struggling. He must soon bear their sins on the cross. These were Jesus' thoughts once he'd lived with men and felt their misery of living in sin. That the incarnate God could have this will for all of man. Is this a disposition that an average mortal has? He will always see mankind through eyes which are divine, from the heights of his position as So he uses man's ways to express his thoughts. He sees humans in ways man can't see. His view of things, essence is not the same as the view of the corrupt human.